Hello and welcome to the season finale of The Issue. I'm Justin Chenette. To say we have lacked topics to discuss on The Issue means that you have missed one or more of our 25 episodes. The topics have ranged from school consolidation to the extension of the Eastern Maine Trail to McCain clinching the Republican presidential nomination. Politics was our most reoccurring topic on The Issue, making it your local source for those political and other issues. Take a look at some of the highlights from the second season of The Issue. Now, here's my opinion on this issue. School consolidation is a very important issue in Maine, one that needs to be addressed with meticulous care. Eliminating administrative redundancy is a key component to this issue. Understanding the fact that we have quote-unquote too many chiefs is necessary. Reducing the number of districts is also part of the plan. It's my understanding of the referendum that it will cost Saco taxpayers an estimated $500,000. Also, a matching relatively over $1 million from the state. Correct. Okay. Now, with the total cost already around $1.5 million for the trail, and being that Maine is one of the most taxed states in the country, do you think that the allocation of those funds is fiscally responsible? Could there be other more pressing things to focus on that's supposedly more important than trails?
It's a very good question.
Now, I'd like to read a quote from your speech from January 30th, 2007 to the joint convention of the first regular session of the 123rd Legislature.
Nicely said.
Thanks. Quote, "First, the state of the judiciary in Maine has been steadily improving over the last several years, and 2006 brought additional and substantial improvements. Second, unfortunately, all of these improvements will be overshadowed if we fail to make the courthouses safe. But because the safety of men, women, and children seeking justice in our court buildings is so crucial, I begin today with that point. You continue to say, we have sufficient security staff to provide marshals for active courtrooms. However, we have no security for hallways or entrances, and we have no staff dedicated to screening for weapons at the front doors." Can you comment on that subject of court security?
Sure, absolutely. It's one of the biggest concerns that I have.
There are a lot of terms flying around from school consolidation to school reorganization. What is the correct terminology for this initiative?
The correct term is reorganization. This is not about closing schools, and that's been one of the fears and misinterpretations. Folks have initially said, well, my child's going to have to travel an extra hour because we're going to consolidate schools. We are reorganizing the structure for schools. So instead of having, currently we have 156 superintendents, we will drop to 80 superintendents. Instead of having 290 school boards, we'll have 80 school boards.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much.
We look forward to working with you further.
Well, great, and I really appreciated TATV putting this together, as well as the presentation the other day, because it's an opportunity to get the information out to the public that can't get down here, and anytime you want to come down, have these kind of forums, we're open to it.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks for watching TATV's second annual live election results show, live from City Hall. I'm Justin Chenette. Make sure you tune in to TATV in the coming days for results of the election, the official results. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
I would tell them I'm one of you, and that I don't need a new career. I have a great life, and the educational field has been very good to me, and I miss the classroom every day. But I would go to Washington fully cognizant of what it means to cut Medicaid funding, or to up local tax rates, or for people not to have health care, because I've worked shoulder to shoulder with Maine people for over 20 years. And it's the lack of leadership, the lack of boldness, the lack of willingness for somebody to say, enough is enough, our people need us, we need to invest in our people, we need to invest in our communities, we need to build a stable and sustainable economy that helps everybody. And we can do that. It's well within our reach. We simply need political will, and we need politicians that don't want a new career, but rather are going to serve for a limited amount of time. They're not worried about the next election. They're just worried about the people of Maine. You know, the average senator needs to raise, $4,000 to $7,000 a day, okay, depending on the race, to pay for the next election. And subsequently, our level of discourse has narrowed. Our level of solutions have narrowed even more. I would go and be beholden only to you and all of the people of Maine, and they can count on me to stand on the floor of the U.S. Senate and to withstand whatever pressures are there, and to work for them and for all of our kids every single day.
It is of enormous importance, and I would say because we have been going down a path which favors multinational corporations, the extraordinarily wealthy, that has neglected small business and the middle class, and has involved massive mismanagement of the federal budget. Under the Bush administration, the national debt has increased by $3.4 trillion. The whole national debt is $9 trillion. They've done $3.4 trillion in just 7 years. And so we need a change. We need a new direction, and I think that one that fits better with the people of Maine, their values and their interests and their concerns.
Wrapping up our time together, what would you tell a voter to earn their vote?
I'm convinced that I can do more for Maine to reinvigorate the small business community, to protect and defend the middle class and fight for them. And I'm not going to go down there and change my views on here and there. I think people know where I stand even when they disagree with me, and they know that I'm going to fight for them every single day.
As I've mentioned, I'm the only person in this race that has issued a detailed agenda on what I think we should do as a country and as a state to address these critical issues. I was born in Portland. I've lived in Portland for the last 32 years. I've worked in the community as both a teacher, as an activist. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I also work at the Muskie School on issues related to child welfare and to substance abuse. And as I mentioned, I've had the opportunity to serve in the legislature. I think I bring a range of both experience and knowledge and ability that's different than anybody else in the race. I also believe that I'm the only one in the race that is talking about the future of this state and the future of this country in a way that addresses the issues that are so critically important. So I hope that, I know that you'll have other people here on that you'll be able to interview, but I hope that people will look at the record of accomplishments that I've had over the last 32 years working in both the community and in the legislature. But I hope that people will also look at the fact that this campaign is about the future and who has the most innovative voice, who has the best ideas, and who's best prepared to go to Washington and bring us universal health care, rewrite No Child Left Behind, and deal with our energy problems.
I would say, first of all, you've got a tough choice. There are a lot of good candidates in the race, a lot of good people. But I would ask you to consider who's going to bring something different down to Washington. Who will be able to get, because we're all running for Congress, and we all have views on a myriad of issues, but at the end of the day, what is really going to make a difference, when you cut through all the television commercials and all the smoke and fog, who is going to go down to Washington and absolutely be able to get something done? Truthfully, what are they going to be able to get done? Because we're all going to get down there, and Congress is a seniority-based system, and we're going to be new congressmen down there. I bring something to the table that none of the other candidates in this race do. I would be only the second Iraq War veteran in Congress, and I wasn't there on a wine and cheese tour. I spent a year in combat in Iraq. I was also in Bosnia. I can be a leader on these issues in day one. Energy issues, I have an expertise that nobody else has. I'm one of the only ones that was actually in this race that was actually born and raised in Maine, went to public schools, and understand what working people deal with absolutely every day. And I have pretty strong roots in the Biddeford-Saco community, to put that plug in, but we could never beat Thornton Academy in football, and that's one of my biggest regrets. And I actually broke my ankle on your high school basketball court when I was playing in high school, so I'm hoping to have more luck in Saco from now on. But I would ask them to take a close look at my candidacy, look at my website, adamcody.com, and vote June 10th.
Well, I think if you do want change, if you want somebody who's going to be able to go down to Washington and challenge the status quo and fight to improve our economy, fight to change our healthcare system, fight to end this tragic foreign policy decision we have made in Iraq, then I'm the type of person who can do that. I've done it in the Maine legislature. As district attorney, I've brought in many innovative changes. And I think as a district attorney, I bring one of the unique perspectives in running for this office. We've seen dramatic changes in this country that have affected constitutional rights. and we have seen people who have put individual politics above the rule of law. I think we have to restore that and restore the integrity of our system.
And my concern with the current stimulus package is that we're handing people money that they're going to use to pay down loans and to buy things.